Greetings, Outsiders, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright, AceAttorney. I love the intro music. Every time I load up this game, I feel like I'm ready to party. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue with our game. October 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Me too, Mr. Judge. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today I will call on people present in Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Just like his name. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Alright, we finally get to see her. She's so pretty. She's so stylish. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer for Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. I don't know the sound to make when Edgeworth does that. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick! I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down. So to speak. Phoenix says the weirdest things. I swear. Witness testimony, the day of the murder. What do you have to say to me? I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp, it ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the morning. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks at the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. The one right here? I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with the monkey's head toppling over. Van added to the court record. Okay. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick! Let's do it! Alright, I'm gonna press her on everything. Cross-examination. The day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little bit before noon. I feel like pressing each of the statements is a good rule of thumb. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. The meeting began at 12 sharp and ended at 4. Hold it! Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. Objection? The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said for you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. I love him. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Alright, let's press on this too. We're probably gonna have to present something, but I like to press, and it's more dialogue anyway. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? The judge already went over this, Edgeworth. It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, right. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. And what did you do? That's what I'm saying, Phoenix. Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright, he does the exact same thing. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved that she didn't eat the steak. Well, Nick, find anything? I kind of wish she said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss, but I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. Okay, so that was the everything. He said something about the T-bone steak, so I'm gonna go to that statement because I have a feeling that we have to use some evidence. Sal and I ate T-bone steak. So what evidence do I have to contradict that? Do I have literally anything? Guide map to Global Studios. Oh, I can present her with the thing. Oh, steak plate. Should I go with this? Let's present this. Ah, as I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. First, like, sorry, that was me. Mr. Wright, and need I remind you, it was a T-bone steak. Exactly, my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manila ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can one person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too! You ate a boneless steak or you didn't eat the steak? This is gonna be the one that makes the most sense. I definitely want to choose the first one, but we're gonna go with this one. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like the incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai? Picking on Sal Manila. Meeting the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai! Order? Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. I like to think that she's going, ooh, he got me, Mr. Wright. Isn't that a little presumptuous? Objection! What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let's have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick! Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear? Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you could, or you couldn't, could you? Or I don't know. You couldn't, could you? I think it's gonna be, is it gonna be similar to the photo that we got from the previous murder, like many years ago? That's what I'm thinking. I think you would have had a great difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ah, you see. Yes? However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? Ooh, ow. What's the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. It's this picture! Take that! No? Wrong, Mr. Wright. Crap, sorry. But I haven't said anything yet. I know you well enough by now to know when you're going to present the wrong evidence. I can sense it too with my fey blood. Okay, so I picked the wrong evidence. Enough with all the sensing. Right, okay, here's the real evidence, Your Honor. I can prove the samurai spear was not used. Is it because it's duct taped? Mended with duct tape? It wouldn't make sense for it to have done that? I guess that's what I'm going with. I present my proof. The so-called murder weapon. There we go. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run-through, but someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Got him. Order, order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what the weapon was that was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I can tell you! I can tell you confidently. Would I make a claim like this if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see the murder weapon then. Now do I present this? Look at this photo. What? What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Exactly. Order. If I cannot have order in this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth! You still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Happened again! Has happened again! I claim it loud and proud! Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Ms. D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Mm-hmm. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Isn't it ironic? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died in the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? In the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1? Nuh-uh! We just learned about the van today. Ms. Vasquez? And returned to the trailer, all in the space of a 15-minute break. How could I have disposed of the body? Phoenix? Phoenix, use your brain! The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death and then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She couldn't deal with it. I bet she could move it. She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body other than with her own hands? For instance... Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. I got it. It's right here. I got it, Mr. Judge. It's right here. And I'm gonna present it. Ms. Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Oh, yeah. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards. We went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Objection? Hold on, Mr. Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manila that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manila was a conspirator? Of course he was, or of course he wasn't? Of course he was. Wasn't everybody, like, under her thumb? Of course Sal Manila was a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Ms. Vasquez could have done that all alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Ms. Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. Thank you. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? The awkward silence. So, what happens next? Don't, me? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that. I just said that. What? Wait, so you mean... Steve Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? What are you gonna say? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course it was as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you have no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again, Vasquez? You did it, or no further questions. Testify again, maybe? Because then we can catch her in a lie, potentially. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? No one to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions and get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn! Come so far only to fail. As it seems there's no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Edgeworth! Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with questions while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well. Objection! Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. Edgeworth is on my side? You're the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly do you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick! What did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too, or he's in love with me. But... Wasn't he the one who said he always gets the guilty verdict? After all that... Edgeworth. Witness testimony. After finding the body. I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Old Bag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. Okay. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. I got this. Cross-examination after finding the body. Okay. What do I have for proof? I was with Sal and Old Bag with the security lady when we found the body. Should we just press? Let's just press. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Press harder? Absolutely. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well? Then you could have put the hammer into that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh. What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. But boy? The witness will continue her testimony. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm. And you certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder? Sure. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around. You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We have to left him out on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at the time? And no one said a thing. I was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived at the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then silence, dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick! Why's everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. This is a murder trial. The security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Oldbag? The security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Press harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there that I can use. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. You asked to be left out. Yes, it seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there's no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you? They covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs in the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. I'm just pressing on everything because I'm not really sure if this is going to be one where we have to present or press. The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Press harder? Plus, we can press harder on each of these. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? Oh, there was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Wait. Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Miss Vasquez, please continue. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think! Miss Vasquez says she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have to know about the murder before going to Studio One! That's what I was thinking, Edgeworth! We're on the same wavelength here! Huh? Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is a reasonable observation, or I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Ms. Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me! So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. That's not what you said, though! How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director? You have to find something to peg this on her here, or everything we've done until now will be wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. All right. I was with Sal in Old Bag. Okay, so now I have to present something, I'm assuming? So we have the autopsy report, pierced through the chest by a spear. He's dragging one leg in the Powers' photo here. Oh man, what should it be? Okay, so on this one, I think the first thing I want to try and do is present the photo on the Hammer was injured. There we go. You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. Oh, that's why! It was Will Powers. What? Oh, I'm surprised. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. That's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. I've gotten all of the facts bunched up in my head, so I connected the injury here, but not that they were switched at this point, because that was so long ago that we discovered that. Pretending. One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? Huh? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you heard Mr. Manella wrong? You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order! I will have order. Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are all the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it's unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can prove it, or of course I can't prove it. I mean, to me, it's like she didn't she think it was somebody else up until the point of the murder? Of course I can't, or can. I want to go this way. No! Saying you can't prove it now would be admitting defeat. She'll get away. But what proof could I possibly have? I don't care if it's impossible. You still have to fight this one. Okay. I have proof, and I'll show it to you. Present to the court the evidence to Miss Vasquez's motive to the... Oh, is it it's a picture. It's a picture. Of course it is. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are all talking about motives here, yet you only have talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if... as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say. I would have no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I'd never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. Reveal evidence, or she had no motive? She had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way into the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him for all those years. Uh-oh. We made her angry. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell off the trailer stairs. Manuel? Manuel? Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, no! How could this... It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez! No! Please. Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought out, about yet another miracle. Thanks, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, yeah, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty! Oh, we did it! Yay! I wish more courtrooms would do confetti when there are good outcomes. That is all. Court is adjourned. Okay. October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby, number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm sure glad you're okay. Oh, I'm just glad you're okay. Yeah, but it's sad. I know that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? I don't know, or show evidence? Oh, I think I know what the evidence is. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because you were... Take that! It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh! Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is, something wrong? No, of course not. Nick! Edgeworth! Edgeworth, hi. Hi, it's good to see you. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years.
Meet again?
However, in retrospect, it would have been better that we had not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes. Unease and uncertainty. Are those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Okay, bye. Mr. Wright, was, that guy your friend?
What? Friends? As if. They're rivals! Rivals! Right, Nick?
For now, we are, I guess.
Huh? Why do I get the feeling that I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth?
And so the curtain closed on another trial. It caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kid shows again. Ah, it's a pink princess!
Nick! This is it! This new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right?
I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it.
You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant.
Fine, I'll do it.
Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time.
I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Yay! Happy ending. Alright, the end. There we go. So that was the end of, what was this? The Turnabout Samurai, right? That's gonna do it for this episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy. I am so excited for the next couple of episodes. Hopefully we'll get to uncover a little bit more of the history between Edgeworth and Phoenix that we got a little taste of this episode. But on that note, I'm gonna say farewell, friends. Thank you so much for being here. As always, remember we're not alone out there, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.
Hold it!